the best way to save money on groceries is to buy fewer groceries. Obviously, I'm sure you're like, well, duh. But how? We have to eat. And yes, there's also inflation. I get it. But you can still save money on groceries. You can still buy fewer ingredients, even if you feel like you don't have enough food in your kitchen. So what I'm going to teach you in this video today is how to make a meal out of nothing, or what you think is nothing, how to make a meal out of what you already have. And throughout this video, I'm going to give several different examples, so be sure to watch the whole thing to see those specific examples that can help you understand these kind of principles that I'm talking about so you can implement them in your own kitchen. The first part of this that helps you apply these different techniques or hacks is by thinking of dinner and thinking of meals as a formula or an equation. I don't really know that math lingo. I think it's a formula. Actually, I think it's an equation. I don't know. But we're going to think about dinner equals protein plus vegetable plus starch or grain, things like potatoes, pasta, rice, etc., plus flavor. Okay? So protein, veggie, your other side, or another veggie, and flavor, obviously, the most important part, right? And looking at those components, what are you missing and how can you easily fill it in with something you already have is how you save money. In a nutshell, that sums it up, okay? So the first thing you can do when looking at that formula, we're just gonna keep calling it a formula for lack of better, possibly more accurate terms. We're going to look at that formula. You're going to see what you have, see what's missing in there, and then we're going to do some algebra. I'm just kidding. You're going to look at that formula. You're going to see which part's missing, and you're going to fill it in, preferably with something already in your kitchen, or something cheap, or something you are going to already be purchasing for another meal. So let's use tacos as an example, because that's a really simple example that I think everyone eats, and everyone probably cooks at home, right? So if you have seen any video using the song White People Taco Night, that's the example I'm going with, okay? White People Taco Night. You get ground beef at the grocery store and shredded cheese at the grocery store, right? I really hope you know what I'm talking about. If not, please go Google that song. It's hilarious and accurate, okay? So we're gonna use White People Tacos as our example. So White People Tacos are ground beef taco shells. I made shredded tacos the other day using this example, and the White People taco shells that you buy at the grocery store. I think I still have the box somewhere. My child was playing with it. I don't see it. But White People tacos, ground beef, shredded cheese, those taco shells, some sort of taco sauce, like Ortega is a very white person taco topping, right? That Ortega taco sauce, if you know what that is. So those are your basic ingredients, right? You got your toppings, whatever toppings you choose, some sort of shell, and ground beef. So if we are looking in our kitchen and say we've made White People tacos recently, I'm gonna laugh every time I say it, and I'm gonna keep saying it. You've made ground beef tacos recently, and so you still have some leftover taco sauce, some shredded cheese, maybe even lettuce and tomato, and some taco shells, but you don't have ground beef. But say you have chicken. You can make shredded chicken tacos or chopped chicken tacos. However you want to cook the chicken, you can easily make chicken tacos and not have to buy anything, or maybe have to buy some extra toppings if you've used it all up, right? But that is a very simple way to buy few ingredients and have an entire other meal. Chances are if you buy chicken breast, you're buying like a big package at a time. So chicken is one of those things that you can apply to several meals. And I'm going to talk about that in a second, how to use the same ingredient multiple ways and not get bored of it also. In that same example of tacos, let's say you bought like a Sam's or Costco sized container of taco seasoning. They come in like those giant boxes. They're not boxes, bottles. Shaker bottles that spices come in. Let's say you bought a giant one of those. So you can make tacos for the next 2 years, right? Especially if you only make White People tacos once a week or once a month even. You can take those basic ingredients and switch up the proteins or the veggies and the grains, switch all the other things but keep the flavor the same, essentially the flavor profile. So you can take that taco seasoning and you can make fajitas. You could serve, so fajitas are typically like onions and peppers in them rather than like lettuce, tomato, whatever you might put on your white people tacos. So you can season up chicken and serve it with bell peppers in a hard taco shell, in a soft taco shell, or even in a bowl form on top of rice. And you have a completely different meal, and you didn't hopefully have to buy too many things, or you at least used one thing you already had and switched it up and made something different. You can take that same idea, you can make shrimp tacos, you can make shrimp taco bowls, you can make burrito bowls, you make lots of different things with these same like core ingredients. Makes sense? So even if you made almost the same thing, if you make your white people tacos with your ground beef one night and then you make shredded chicken tacos later that week, you can have basically every other ingredient the same and just switch out that protein. And you've made a completely different meal, basically the same ingredients. These simple swaps, these simple substitutes help you to take what you already have in your kitchen, apply it to new meals, and save money by buying less. I'm gonna keep repeating that because that is the core thing I want you to take from this video. Simple swaps, buy less, save money. I mentioned this in the last video about shopping your kitchen, inventorying your kitchen, about how I do what I call recipe pairings, where if I buy one ingredient where I'm only going to use part of it in a recipe, I always put on my meal plan another recipe that uses up that same ingredient. But there are some other ways you can do this as well. So you can apply this to less specific things. So the examples I gave in the last video were, I know one of them was using the ingredient, why am I blanking on the word, the name of it? Onion soup mix, goodness gracious. Onion soup mix comes in a box, it's 2 little packets inside a box. Every time I buy that, I make the same 2 recipes with it. So there's a crock pot recipe where that's a part of the sauce ingredient. And then there's a recipe where you just bread chicken in it, which sounds really unhealthy, and I'm sure it is. There's probably a ton of sodium in that, but it's delicious, and we'll just eat healthier the rest of the week, right? So I always make those 2 meals. Whenever I meal plan one, I use the other. And if you watch my other videos, you would know why I choose one of those meals to start with, right? So if I have the ingredients in my kitchen, if I'm shopping my kitchen and meal planning for my inventory to save money, I'm probably planning one of those meals based on having an ingredient already in my kitchen that goes into them. And then I'm like, okay, I'm buying this ingredient, so now I will also have this. I'm considering what I'm purchasing as part of my inventory. That's the gist of this. What I'm trying to say here is that I'm considering that thing I'm purchasing and only using part of as part of my kitchen inventory when making my meal plan. To buy less, to save money. There we go again, buying less, saving money. Another way to do that. But you can take this farther. Just went on a little rant there about the specific ingredient, but you can take this concept of pairing recipes and apply it to more general ingredients. Because when you buy bulk things like at Sam's or Costco, like the taco seasoning, you typically get it cheaper. But if it just sits around your kitchen, you're not using it, or heaven forbid it spoil, it goes bad and you don't use it. That goes back to one of my principles, is the principles that help me cook dinner every night, that also help me save money. I don't let things spoil. I don't let things go bad. I use what I have in my kitchen first to save money by cooking them and not letting them go bad. So I'm buying fewer ingredients and saving money. Again, the whole point of this video, buy less, save more. Okay, so I've said it 73 times. Let's see how many more times I'll say it. So pairing those ingredients that you buy in bulk. And so something you might buy in bulk, or something I buy in bulk because I cook it a lot, is chicken breast and broccoli. Very basic ingredients, right? Chicken breast is probably the most basic ingredient you can get. And then I buy these really large packages of frozen broccoli florets. And I typically roast them, and they're really delicious. And I'm gonna have a video soon about the ways I quickly make frozen roast vegetables from frozen, and they're delicious. And I'll have a whole video about the different ways I do that and how easy and tasty they are. So if you also want to eat more veggies, stay tuned for that. Make sure you subscribe so you know when that comes out. But anywho, basic ingredients of chicken and broccoli. I can take those basic ingredients, I can switch up the flavor profiles, and I can make a bunch of different recipes. So I can make chicken broccoli rice, that's very basic. I can make stir fries. I can make lots of different stir fries. I'll make sesame chicken with that. I will make kung pao. With the broccoli, I'll make a meatless stir fry. I really love, it's called spicy coconut stir fry from the website Budget Bites. That's really delicious and pretty cheap, meatless. So obviously that doesn't use the chicken, but it'll use the broccoli, right? But just taking those two ingredients, I can make the chicken broccoli rice casserole. I can make more than one stir fry. I can make a couple of different stir fries. And I can make pretty much anything with chicken, right? I could make the onion chicken. I could bread the chicken with that onion soup mix. I can roast broccoli on the side, and then I can throw some sort of grain or starch in there. It could be something as simple as like frozen garlic bread, and then I've got a really easy dinner, right? With greens in it, with a green vegetable in it. Amazing. But something as simple as chicken and broccoli can be eaten over and over and over again and not be super boring, as long as you were changing up that flavor profile enough. Another one I really like to do is pesto chicken and broccoli, and I will throw that with tortellini, with pasta, something like that, and it's delicious. And pesto chicken and broccoli taste completely different than sesame chicken and broccoli. Completely different flavor profiles, basically the same core ingredients. And if I'm throwing rice with one and pasta with another, you've got really cheap dinners and completely different flavor profiles. So it doesn't have to be boring. I was trying to think of a way you can make chicken and broccoli with like Mexican flavors, and broccoli just doesn't, in my book, lend itself to Mexican flavors. But if you are really, really trying to cut back on your grocery budget, make it fit, right? We don't have to follow traditional rules. Like, you're not in culinary school, you're not on the Food Network, it's okay. You can make broccoli Mexican flavored. You can serve it with tacos. That's kind of weird, but whatever. If you have it in your house, cook it and serve it. Don't try and follow these arbitrary rules. Follow the rules to make money. Make money. Follow the rules to save money. Buy less, save more. So this was a short and sweet video where I repeated the same tip multiple times. But in summary, follow that meal plan formula, or follow that dinner formula rather. Protein, veggie, grain or starch, flavor. Switch it up, find ways to substitute, find ways to change the flavor, and find ways to use what you have in your kitchen so that you buy less and you save more. Okay, I have lots of other videos helping you buy less and save more, helping you save money, save time, and save your sanity in the kitchen. Check out all my previous meal planning videos, kitchen helping videos. I don't know how to summarize those. My goal is to simplify dinner time. So I guess we'll call that. My simplifying dinner time videos. Maybe I'll make that a playlist on here on YouTube. So if you're interested in making the dinner time process less of a headache, if you want to stop dreading dinner, be sure to subscribe to my channel, go watch those other videos. And if you happen to also be interested in family travel, in travel tips and hacks, budget travel, all those things are already existing on my channel and in upcoming videos as well. So be sure to subscribe to be notified when those come out also. If you are interested in any of these random recipes I mentioned today, leave me a comment and I can send you the source for the recipes or let you know how I cook it. I cook a lot of things just out of my brain. I don't always use a recipe. And then if there are any particular questions you have, any upcoming videos you are particularly interested in, anything you'd like me to expand on in an upcoming video, something I said here or in another video, please leave me a comment about that as well. Be sure to subscribe to me on Instagram so you see these hacks in action. So you see how I, in my day-to-day life, am applying these tips so you get some more examples. I find examples and real life examples to be the most helpful to learn and implement and understand something. So you can find all that over on my Instagram, Live Cheap, Travel Often, and I will see you next time in my budget kitchen.